AITA for refusing to let my wife's daughter move in after a past conflict with my son? Hey everyone, I, 45M, need some outside perspective here because I'm honestly torn and starting to wonder if I'm the bad guy. AITA for refusing to let my wife's daughter move in with us after some drama went down last summer with my son? I've been going back and forth on this for weeks, and I just can't tell if I'm being unreasonable or if I'm just trying to protect my kid and keep the peace. For privacy, I'm using fake names, hope that's cool. Here's the whole story, and I'm sorry in advance if this gets long, but I feel like you need the full picture to judge this one. So, some background, I've been married to my wife, Laura, 43F, for about 2 years now. We both have kids from our previous marriages. I've got a son, Jake, 20M, who's in college, super chill kid, kind of quiet, works hard, and I'm really proud of him. Laura has a daughter, Emily, 22F, who just graduated college a few months ago and is currently job hunting. Laura and I met about 4 years ago, and we clicked pretty fast. She's funny, smart, and we balance each other out. Our relationship's been mostly great, but blending families is, well, you know, it's a process. The kids get along okay on the surface, but they're not close. Jake's more reserved, and Emily's got this big, outgoing personality, sometimes a little too big, if I'm being honest. They're just different people, and I've always figured that's fine, they don't have to be besties. We live in a decent-sized house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, in a suburban area. It's not huge, but it's comfortable for me and Laura. Jake's been away at college most of the time we've been married, so he's only stayed with us during breaks. Emily, on the other hand, has been in and out a lot, sometimes staying with Laura's parents, sometimes with friends, sometimes crashing here for a few days or weeks. I've never minded too much before, but last summer was when things got messy, and it's why I'm in this spot now. Okay, so this happened last summer, around June 2024. Jake came home from college for about 6 weeks between dorm leases. He didn't have anywhere else to go, and I was happy to have him, missed the kid, you know? He's always been independent, but I could tell he was looking forward to just chilling at home for a bit. Emily was also around a lot during this time. She was still in school back then, but she'd come over most days, sometimes staying overnight. Laura loved having her around, and I get it, Emily's her only kid, and they're super close. But almost right away, I could feel this weird tension in the house. Not like screaming matches or anything dramatic, just off. Jake would mostly stay in his room, playing video games or studying for some online summer course he was taking. Emily would be in the living room, on her phone, or chatting with Laura in the kitchen. They didn't really talk to each other much, and when they did, it was super short, like pass the salt kind of stuff. I chalked it up to them just not vibing, which, okay, fine, they're young adults, not siblings. About a month in, things took a turn. One evening, Emily comes to Laura and says she's missing some cash, about $60, and a pair of wireless earbuds she swore she left on the coffee table. Laura looked worried and brought it up to me privately, like, hey, Emily can't find her stuff, and she's kind of freaking out. I asked if she might have just misplaced it, and Laura said maybe, but Emily was pretty sure she hadn't. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but I figured I'd ask Jake, just to cover all bases. So I go to his room, super casual, and I'm like, hey, bud, Emily's missing some cash and earbuds, did you see anything? I swear I wasn't accusing him, just asking. But Jake got this look on his face, like I'd just punched him. He goes, seriously, Dad? You think I stole from her? I tried to calm him down, said no one's saying that, just checking if he knew anything. But he got really upset. Raised his voice a little, which he never does, and said it felt like I was taking her side, like he wasn't even welcome in his own home. I felt awful, but I didn't know what to say. He shut down after that, barely talked to me or Laura for days. The tension in the house got worse. Emily kept making these offhand comments, like, it's just so crowded here, or I can't even keep track of my stuff with so many people around. Nothing direct, but it felt pointed, you know? Jake started spending more time out of the house, going for walks, hanging at a buddy's place. I could tell he was hurt, and I hated it. I tried talking to Laura about it, told her I didn't like how this was making Jake feel. She said she'd talked to Emily, but nothing really changed. Then, about a week later, Jake tells me he's done, he's moving out early to crash with a friend until his dorm opens up. I begged him to stay, said we'd figure it out, but he was like, "Dad, I just don't feel comfortable here anymore." He packed up and left. We texted a little after that, but it was short, surface-level stuff. I could tell he was still upset, and it killed me. We've always been close, and suddenly I felt like I'd let him down. Fast forward a couple months, maybe September 2024. Laura comes to me one day and says, "Good news, Emily found her stuff." Apparently, the cash and earbuds were in an old gym bag she hadn't checked. Emily's excuse was, "I guess I was just stressed, my bad, I didn't mean to cause a fuss." That was it. No apology to Jake, no real acknowledgement of how she'd basically implied he took it, nothing. I was pissed. I told Laura this was messed up. Jake got thrown under the bus, felt pushed out of his own home, and Emily couldn't even say sorry? Laura said she understood why I was upset, but Emily's not great at admitting when she's wrong, and she didn't want to force her to apologize because it wouldn't be genuine. I get not wanting to push your kid, but come on, Jake's my kid, and he was hurt. I dropped it, but it's been sitting with me ever since. Jake and I are better now, talking more, but he's mentioned a couple times how weird that whole situation felt. He never said I hate Emily or anything, but I can tell he's still cautious about her. Now here's where we're at. It's May 2025, and Emily graduated a few months back. She's been staying with Laura's parents, but they're renovating their place, so that's not an option anymore. Laura came to me last week and said Emily wants to move in with us temporarily while she job hunts. She says it won't be long, maybe a month or two, and Emily's got a couple interviews lined up. Laura's all for it, says it's what parents do, help their kids out. But I said no. I just don't trust the situation. Last summer was a mess. Jake felt accused, pushed out, and Emily never took responsibility. I don't want a repeat of that, especially if Jake comes home for the summer again. He's already texted me asking about his plans, like, "Hey Dad, am I good to stay for a few weeks in June?" I want him to feel safe and welcome here, not like he's walking on eggshells again. Laura's not happy with me. She says I'm being harsh, holding a grudge over a misunderstanding. She keeps saying Emily's in a tough spot, just starting out, and we have the space. I get that, and I don't want Emily to struggle, but I feel like I have to draw a line. I told Laura I'm not comfortable with it, that I'm still mad about how last summer went down and how Emily never owned up to it. Laura says I need to let it go, that family is family, and we should be there for each other. I fired back that Jake's my family too, and I'm not okay with him feeling like he doesn't belong in his own home. It got a little heated, and now things are tense between us. We're still talking, but it's awkward, short answers, avoiding the topic. I hate this. I love Laura, and I don't want to fight, but I feel stuck. I talked to a couple friends about it, just to get some perspective. One buddy was like, "Dude, it was a mistake, kids lose stuff, let it go and help her out." Another said I'm not wrong to be cautious, but maybe I should give Emily a chance to prove she's grown up since last year. My sister, who's always been Team Jake, was like, "Nope, protect your son, don't let her move in." I appreciate the input, but I'm still torn. I even asked Jake what he thinks, super casual, like, "Hey, how'd you feel if Emily stayed with us for a bit?" He just shrugged and said, "I guess it'd be fine, but last summer kinda sucked." He's not the type to make a big deal, but I can tell he's not thrilled. Here's where my head's at. On one hand, I get that Emily's young, job hunting's tough, and Laura wants to support her. I don't hate Emily, she's not a bad person, just maybe a little thoughtless sometimes. And I don't want to make Laura feel like I'm against her or her kid. We're married, and I know blending families means compromise. But on the other hand, I'm still mad about last summer. Emily never apologized, never even talked to Jake about it. It felt like she got a free pass, and my son paid the price. If she moves in, what if it's awkward again? What if something else goes wrong? Jake's already planning to come home for a few weeks in June, and I want him to feel like this is his space too. I keep overthinking it, maybe I'm being too protective, maybe I'm holding a grudge. But I just don't want another mess. So, Reddit, AITA for saying no to Emily moving in? Am I being unreasonable, Or is this just me trying to avoid a repeat of last summer? I feel stuck between keeping peace in my marriage and standing up for my son. Any advice or judgment welcome, I just want to do the right thing here. Thanks for reading this novel, lol, I know it's a lot.